Hey guys, I just wanted to share something that I discovered this morning, or this afternoon. I actually discovered, I think, what the problem was. But I got up this morning and Johnny Ringo, my main compadre, he didn't greet me this morning the way he typically does. And then when he did come out, he just seemed to be off. There's something seemed to be off about him, and I wasn't sure what it was. And it's been really troubling me all day today. And I finally decided, and Donna and I spoke about it, and she suggested I go ahead and take him on to the vet. And I decided I would go ahead and see if I could determine what was going on. And the symptoms were, he just seemed to be off mentally. He seemed, his eyes seemed to be distant. There wasn't the glow in his eyes that's normally there. He didn't greet me with the enthusiasm that he normally does every day. Johnny is, he's a real unique dog. He's real special. He doesn't live in a kennel. He doesn't live in a yard. He's free to roam the property anywhere he chooses, and he's always been that way. And so there is the possibility when we have dogs like Johnny that they can get into some things that we may not want them to, and then we may not know about it. There is a downside to giving a dog a lot of freedom, and that is they can get themselves in trouble. Fortunately, Johnny Ringo tends to not do that. He has a pretty good awareness of his own safety and well-being, so I thought it was a little unusual and out of character for him to be out of sorts. Actually, what it wound up being, when it was all said and done, I noticed when he looked at me, he kicked one ear back. And I began to be a bit suspicious of that, so I gave him an ear check. And lo and behold, down deep in this ear, in his left side, I found a really engorged, blood-filled tick in his ear that was almost at the point of blocking the ear canal. And I can only imagine the torment that was causing him, and it did explain why he was having so much difficulty balancing and why he couldn't seem to focus as he normally does. But I removed the tick, and it seems like since I took the tick out, he's come back to the same old Johnny Ringo that we love and enjoy, and I'm so thrilled. I was really troubled thinking about him having some issues. So the moral of the story, if your dog seems a bit out of sorts, something doesn't seem to be right and you can't seem to figure out what it is, give them a good going over and certainly look in their ears, because I've never actually had that happen with all the dogs that we've had, but I can certainly see how a tick being in the dog's ear could mess up his equilibrium, and to a great extent it had his guy boogered up. I love Johnny Ringo, man, and the thought of something happening to him was just more than I could take. So I'm glad and I feel great. Donna and I are so happy that he's back to normal, and I'll be keeping an eye on him in the future, and you can believe I'll be watching the inside of old Johnny's ears, man. Thank you, and I appreciate it. And I hope this tip comes to help you someday. See you soon.